Wow, what a dominating performance for the Vancouver Canucks. Absolutely start to finish, just absolute obliteration. 2 home games for the Canucks so far this year. Outscored opponents 13-1. That's not a bad start. Not to mention, by the way, your Vancouver Canucks are 5-2. Remember last year, 7 games into the season when they were 5-2? 5-2 is a little bit better than that. I am a little bit under the weather, so we're going to try to keep this short, sweet, and tight. So let's start with the Canucks. Getting on the power play very early in this one, 17 seconds in. Buchnevich gets a penalty. Hronek's just ripping shots, but power play doesn't do much there. Lafferty has a prime opportunity to open the scoring early. He burns Binnington down the wing and just slides it right into the post with a wide open cage, which hurt. But the Canucks just keep piling on the pressure. In the zone for about a minute and a half straight, they're able to change their entire unit while the Blues are stuck in their own zone. And Quinn Hughes just a perfect shot. Comes in, takes a couple steps in, shoots it past all the bodies right off the far post, and in a beautiful 1-0 goal. Canucks get another power play. They really have nothing doing there. And they don't do much else in the rest of the first period other than be absolutely dominant. The Canucks had the shot advantage in the first of 19-3. 19-3 in the first period for the Vancouver Canucks. And in all situations, expected goals. Expected goals is a fun stat because it'll tell you, based on shot quality, shot location, shot quantity, how many goals was a team expected to score in the first period. The Vancouver Canucks out attempting the Blues 35-4, high danger chances 7-0, scoring chances 19-1, shots for, like I said, 19-3. Expected goals for the Canucks 1.85. So Binnington played really good in the first period. Canucks were expected to get 1.85 goals. Expected goals for the St. Louis Blues 0.03. I don't think I've ever seen it that low in a period. That is how outstanding the Vancouver Canucks were in the first period. That's all situations, not just 5-on-5. But it's still just 1-0. And this feels like one of those ones where the Canucks are just going to get unlucky. They totally dominate the first period, but you're waiting for it to switch, right? You're waiting for that toggle where suddenly the play sort of becomes more even and the other team maybe scores a goal, and then who knows what's going to happen, right? But the Canucks come out in the second period, and they open the scoring pretty quick. It's Quinn Hughes once again. He just skates down the right wing, throws it towards the middle. It banks off a defender and goes in to make it 2-0. And then a minute later, Tyler Myers steps up, makes a send pass right up the middle to spring Phil DiGiuseppe, and he sneaks it 5-hole on Binner. Just beautiful from Phil DiGiuseppe. It's 3-0, 7 minutes in, and they're not done yet. 2 minutes later, the Canucks go to the kill. Hughes gets called for a slash, and the Canucks immediately score. It's flashbacks to late last season when Pettersson and Miller were lighting it up shorthanded. It's so nice. Torrey Krug puts a pass right onto the tape of Elias Pettersson. He springs JT Miller the other way. He burns Binnington on the backhand, and it's 4-0 halfway through the second period, and this game is essentially over. Blues got another power play late. Penalty kill looked great, looked clean. Third period, I mean, what is there to really talk about? Demko made one of the saves of the year so far for him. He had a better save a week ago in the game that they lost. Demko robs Braden Shen. Shen sort of burns him to the outside, and Demko sort of kicks the pad out. Like when the goalie raises the pad to make a save, it's so sweet. And then the Canucks add another 6.5 minutes into the first period. It is Ilya Mikheyev. This zone entry, this Mikheyev, Pettersson, Kuzmenko line, they really, if you think about it, haven't had much time together, right? Mikheyev missed the entire last half of last season, and he missed the first few games of this season, so they really haven't been able to gel. Garland was on that first unit for a few games. So you got to imagine they're just going to get better. But Pettersson makes a great play to get the puck up to Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko plays it to Pettersson in the zone entry. He just pushes it forward. Mikheyev turns on the Jets, and he's in all alone. He beats Biddington on the 5-hole to make it 5-0 Vancouver. And the Canucks just hold on. Pretty low event hockey the rest of the third period. And Thatcher Demko secures the shutout. Just a 22 save shutout, but a shutout nonetheless, as Vancouver's goaltending, the stats are getting a little bit ridiculous. All right. Demko had a 924 coming into this game, and it's only going to be better after that. You throw 22 more saves on there, no more goals. Absolutely fantastic for him. My pluses and minuses for this game. I've got a lot of pluses. Maybe, you know what? Let's start with the minuses. Let's knock those out of the way. The power play was not good. The Canucks had, I think, 4 power plays. Yeah, they had 4 power plays. They went 0 for 4 on the power play. It never looked good. It never looked dangerous. Honestly, it looked the same as the rest of the game because the Canucks were so dominant in the offensive zone for the entire game that you couldn't even really tell when they were on the power play, which I guess is great, but it's a bit of an indictment on the power play. They looked very static. They weren't moving the puck around very much. It didn't feel like, they've looked dangerous so far this year. I think they were at like 35% coming into this, which I think was 3rd in the league. It was just pretty static, pretty slow, pretty stagnant. And they really could have opened that game up in the first period, right? They had 3 power plays in the first. They scored 2. They score on one of those even, make it a 2-0 game, and maybe it's a little bit smoother sailing. Although the second period they did get the job done. My other minus is going to have to be. I'm still finding Beauvillier to be pretty invisible. We're still at that point. We need something from him. Let me take a look at the ice times tonight. Beauvillier played 15 minutes. They were resting some guys, and that's where I want to get into my pluses. The start to this game. The Canucks had a couple days of rest. They haven't played since Tuesday, and the Blues are coming off of a back-to-back where they had to fly in, right? They had to fly in overnight, so they should be slower. But we've seen the Canucks just come out and play down to their opponent how many times in the past, right? But this game starts with the Canucks having the first 10 shots on goal and the first 20 shot attempts. That is how you make a damn statement if you're the Canucks. Just all over them. The entire first 10 minutes of the game were just played in the Blues zone. It was fantastic. Fantastic. Niels Höglander played 11 minutes tonight, and he was awesome. He was winning board battles. He was freeing up pucks. He was playing very, very good. Nothing on the score sheet to show for it. Really liked his game. Obviously, Quinn Hughes. I mean, what can we say? He scores 2 goals tonight. He's up to, how many points does he have? I don't know how many assists he's got. He's got 5 assists. So he's up to 8 points in 7 games. He is cruising to start this season. And he looks he looks better than he ever has. Seemingly every single time he touches the puck, he creates something. He's always just burning guys. Quinn Hughes, 2 goals. I mean, he scored his 2nd goal, I think, in January last year. He's got 3 already this year through 7 games. He's on like a 30-goal pace. That would be crazy. But just a phenomenal game for him. JT Miller, 3-point second period. He's up to 11 points on the year already. Pettersson's got 10 assists already, so he's up to 12 points. Like, the guys who you need to be going are absolutely going for the Canucks. How about Philip Hronek, by the way, tonight? Also absolutely fantastic. Just firing pucks on net. I mean, he only had 1 shot credited for him, but when he lets go of the puck, I think he had 2 back-to-back 94-mile-an-hour clappers from the point on that first power play. Hughes has 4 shots tonight. Like, everyone was great. Mikheyev was 6 shots. I love to see that. Also, another big thing for the Canucks is their play at home has been absolutely outstanding. Their play at home, I mean, 2 games? So 6 periods. They have 13 goals, and they've allowed 1. So if the Canucks can play like that at home and win 41 home games, then they're going to make the playoffs. You just got to win like 10 games on the road, and you're a 106-point team, 104-point team, I should say. Either way, 100 and something. I don't know. Math is hard. 102. But yeah, I mean, the Canucks looked fantastic. Absolutely fantastic at home. And what was really nice about this game is if you go and you look at the time on ice of some of these guys, Quinn Hughes was not the high minute man on defense. Quinn Hughes played 20 minutes, 41 seconds, which for him is low, right? Normally he's 24 to 25 minutes. So he plays under 21. Ian Cole played 20:54, but that allowed Carson Soucy to play 19.5, Hronek to play 18:50, Myers to play 17, Friedman to play 15:31, all so evenly spread out across the defense. Elias Pettersson played 19 minutes tonight, Kuzmenko only 30, Besser 16, JT Miller 17.5. You know why? Because the Canucks had a 4-goal lead halfway through this game. And they're on a back-to-back. They play the Rangers tomorrow night. That's going to be a hell of an opponent for them. That Casey DeSmith is going to have to get the start against. Although not like Demko had a big workload tonight. They got to rest their guys. You know, the Blues just came on this back-to-back. Their guys were slow. They were tired. The Canucks can learn from that, hopefully, and try to avoid a similar fate and say, hey, we got to actually rest our big guns because we have that game tomorrow night. We had this game locked in about halfway through, so why not just spread out the ice time, spread out the love? You know, you got Sam Lafferty playing 13.5 minutes. Pius Suter played 17.5 minutes. Also, shout out to the penalty kill. Only 2 power plays for the Blues, but they had absolutely nothing going on any of those. It was an all-around fantastic performance from the Canucks. The big leaders on the expected goals list, by the way, in percentages, Andrei Kuzmenko, 94.5% expected goals for while he was on the ice, 0.86 to 0.05. Fantastic. Mikheyev was up at 94. Mark Friedman at 93.5% in all situations of expected goals. Mark Friedman, while he was on the ice, the Canucks had 27 shot attempts and 3 against. Who is this guy? He has been so solid, so stable. Just he's been great. Like honestly, filling in as that number 6D, Mark Friedman has been an absolute boon for this team so far. All around though, I mean, there's not much else I can say about this game. Like my notes for a dominant game, they're pretty short tonight, right? Like normally it's like 2 or 3 times this much, but really not much happened. The Canucks just took it to the Blues. They absolutely pounded them while they were down. And it was a nice, easy, smooth sailing, stress-free victory on a lovely Friday night. I'll be back here tomorrow night, Saturday, after the Canucks and Rangers. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, leave a comment with your thoughts of the game, maybe a score prediction for tomorrow night. Either way, thank you all very much for joining me. Have a lovely Friday night, and I will see you tomorrow.